I'm going to preview the Baylor at Arizona State women's volleyball game, which literally will be played October 8th at 9 p.m. Central Time on espnplus, and of course it'll be last us as well. And I apologize for looking down because I cannot memorize all this stuff, and I'm doing this ahead of time before the rankings come out, by the way. So you'll put it in the I'll put it in the title on what the rankings for both these teams are, and I expect Baylor to be ranked. And this is despite a loss to Kansas that was in the top 20, and it was a 3-2 loss, and it's the first time that they lost all year whenever Baylor took the first set. I want to just recap that real fast, y'all. It was 25-19, 19-25, 13-25, 27-25, and 13-15. So it's really not a bad loss, but it does hurt in terms of conference play and overall record. 9-4 overall, 4-1 in the Big 12. While Arizona State, they're very strong, to say the least. They're unbeaten in the Big 12, for sure. And they only lost 2 times all year, and both of those have been sweeps. I mean, in terms of losses, Pitt 3-0, and they lost to Texas, but that was at Texas. I understand that one. So 12-2 overall, 3-0 in the Big 12. One of the few unbeaten teams in the Big 12 here, and I'm going to just say in advance, the stats I'm going to mention are up to that Kansas State game, which was literally like September 28th, by the way. So I would put the stats from the previous game against Utah in the description below as well, just to make it clear that the numbers might not exactly be correct, but they will probably adjust it later. I just don't want to wait on them and adjust it, because they should have adjusted it by now, I would think. Literally, because the game was literally played Saturday, October 4th. Just saying. So what are some players to keep an eye on? I'll put out the roster in the description below as well. So we're going to have to go offense and defense on the stats here. And there's Tatum Perrott, number 3, is the first player to keep an eye on. A 6-foot outside hitter as a senior. $103 kills on 300 attempts with 42 attacking errors, 6 assists, 5 service aces, 22 service errors. Now defensively, 8 receiving errors, and 74 digs, 17 blocks, 3 solo, and 1 blocking error. And this is prior to that last game to Utah, by the way, which they swept. So I'm just going to make that clear. And there's Ella Lewis, number 4, 5'11" outside hitter / libero. That's a freshman. No kills and no attempts, 2 assists, 9 service aces, 9 service errors, 12 digs. That's it. Then there's Cindy Henry, number 5, a 5'11" setter as a senior. Five kills on 14 attempts with 4 attacking errors, 303 assists, 8 service aces, 18 service errors, 70 digs, 6 blocks, none solo. That's it. There's Myla Ribeiro, number 9, a 5'6" libero as a freshman. No kills on no attempts with 4 assists, 2 service errors, 31 digs, 3 receiving errors. That's really it. There's Naomi Glover, number 10. A 6'2" outside hitter that is a junior. 133 kills on 277 attempts with 35 attacking errors, 4 assists. Nothing in the service department. 19 digs, 35 blocks, 1 solo, 1 blocking error. And the next player to mention is Colby Neal, number 11. A 6'4" middle blocker that is a grad senior. Yep, correct. Get that, just making sure there. 54 kills on 118 attempts with 18 attacking errors, 7 assists, 14 service aces, which is one of the most on the team. But not the most. 20 service errors. 19 digs, 1 receiving error, 65 blocks, most on the team. One of the most on the team. 13 solo and 2 blocking errors is Jillian Neal, number 14. And I do not know the injury status for Arizona State going this game, by the way. A 6'2" outside hitter that is a junior. Okay. 49 kills on 132 attempts with 20 attacking errors, 3 assists, 3 service aces, 9 service errors. There's obviously more because of defense. And 21 digs, 1 receiving error, 12 blocks, none solo, 1 blocking error. This Faith Frame, number 15. A 5'7" libero. That's a sophomore. No kills on 6 attempts, 36 assists, 1 service ace, 2 service errors, 164 digs, most on the team, 12 receiving errors, most on the team. That's really it. There's Bailey Miller, number 22. A 6'3" outside hitter that's a senior. .150 kills on 425 attempts, which is both of them most on the team. 62 attacking errors, which is also most on the team. 16 assists, 19 service aces, 24 service errors. Yeah, both of those are most on the team. This is like I said prior to that Kansas State game. After that Kansas State game. And there's 124 digs, 11 receiving errors, 22 blocks, 6 solo, 2 blocking errors. There's Ella Lomo Gora, number 25. Ella, 6'2" middle blocker that is a junior. 68 kills on 132 attempts with 16 attacking errors, 10 assists, no service aces, but 5 service errors. 10 digs, 1 receiving error, 60 blocks, 8 solo, 4 blocking errors. There's Bren Koval, number 27. A 6-foot setter that is a redshirt sophomore. 4 kills on 13 attempts with 2 attacking errors, 218 assists. 14 service aces, 8 service errors. 70 digs, 4 blocks, 0 solo. That's it. And there's Kyla Presley, number 43. A 6-foot outside hitter that's a redshirt freshman. 78 kills on 199 attempts with 39 attacking errors. 1 service error. No service aces at all. There's 14 digs, 25 blocks, 1 solo, and 2 blocking errors. And obviously you could tell who did the most in terms of the last game, in terms of every category imaginable for Arizona State as well. Like the double-digit killer in terms of kills was Glover. And the second most was Miller. So just to make things clear there. And obviously, whatever you did wrong last game, you got to correct for this game. Whatever you did right last game, you got to bring in this game. You got to be a more mentally tougher team. Yes, there might be some questionable calls, but you got to make plays to win. At the end of the day, you got to make adjustments on the fly, both offensively and defensively. Not just from set to set, but during those sets. And if you have a lead during a set, protect it if not extended. And if you're dealing with adversity, just stay mentally tough and focus on the next play, one play at a time. And all this. And you got to come out ready to go and try to get the crowd for Arizona State out of the game as much as possible. And I know it's a later start than you're used to because it's 9 p.m. Central Time here, but it's earlier there, I know. So still. And I know Arizona State's only conference loss a year ago was to Baylor, so they're probably looking for revenge. So, yeah. And I would come out with a sense of urgency in this game because you don't want to lose your second conference game already. After a really close game against Kansas. And I do not know the injury status on like Bree Denny. She has not played and she's not even suited up. Same thing goes for MJ McCurdy. I know Grace Carroll's suited up, but she has not played. So we'll see about those down the line. This is the next player up mentality. You got to serve tough, and you don't want to commit silly errors like a rotation error, a football. That's giving up 3 points right there just from not even playing the game. I mean, it's just telling the truth. You got to keep your composure. You can't be intimidated by the other team. And you got to serve tough because you want to get them out of the system and create some overpasses. And you need to take advantage of those, and obviously you want to limit those as much as possible. You got to win the jousting, and in terms of blocking, you got to limit your net violations. The blocking errors, yeah, you got to adjust your hands some during the match and limit the attacking errors as well. And I know you want to limit your service errors, but at the same time, you got to get some service aces, and you got to receive the ball well to set up your offense. And you need to shut down the best players as much as possible with your blocking. And while you got to get your best players involved, and even your role players step up. And they try to mix it up offensively, though. If it's like one player that they can't stop, continue to go with it. So, this is a big game in terms of rankings and RPI and Big 12 standings here. And this is the first of 2 games in the state of Arizona for Baylor, because then they'll go on the road to Arizona literally 2 days later, which is not that far in terms of travel, but let's just take all the frustration from the last match and put it on Arizona State here. And if you have, and try to take the first the because the only time you lost with the first set this year was last match. I mean, it's just telling the truth. And if you're dealing with adversity, you just try to come back, and that's kind of what they did against Kansas in that fourth set. They were dealing with a match point, but then they flipped it, and from there it got to be really. And they forced it to fit. It's just unfortunately they just didn't. They started fast, but then Kansas went on a run, and Baylor climbed back. At the end of the day, it was like 15-13. So you got to start fast in each side and in between, and finish the set strong, especially if you could put them away. So we're gonna have to wait and see what happens here. So, anyways, if you like this content, hit the like, subscribe button. See you guys later on the road to 800 subscribers. Ultimate goal is to dazzle more some more. This course, like video, comment video really helps YouTube algorithm. Some more people see us, sharing the video does help as well. So more people can watch. And if you're watching and not subscribed, hit subscribe button for the notification bell as well. And if they do update their stats, you could just go ahead and check them out. But either way, I want to put last game stats and whatever the current ones they have online are. So just to make things simple.